All right, checking out the show called Burn the House Down. 8 episodes, 48 minutes apiece. Let's just get to it. It's episode 1. So we see this house getting burnt down, and this chick is out there looking at the house. This lady by the name of Anzu, and her mom is on the ground apologizing. Apparently, she probably started the fire. 13 years later, we get to this housekeeper by the name of Shizuka, and she's about to work for this lady by the name of Makiko. Now, basically, all she wants her to do is like clean the bottom floor. She gives her like 2 rules: don't open the door for like delivery packages or whatever like that, and don't go to the 2nd floor. Now, the thing is, she does like part-time modeling on her spare time, but she really owns a hospital. So she basically goes there and conducts business. So basically, she's cleaning up downstairs or whatever like that. Then she finds this bracelet. Now, why did she end up taking this bracelet? Well, we find out Shizuka is actually Anzu, and she doesn't believe her mom caused the fire. Then we see the shot in the background where everybody's looking at the fire, and Makiko is in the audience too. Anzu thinks Makiko was the one that burnt out their house. The problem is, she ain't got no proof. So in between that time, Anzu's mom and dad end up getting divorced. He ends up getting remarried. To who? Makiko of all people. The fuck? So Anzu's actually got a younger sister, and then we find out Makiko actually has 2 older sons. One of them named Shinji is supposed to be going to like Temple University or something like that, which he's there now. And the other one's named Kenji, but we'll get back to him in a minute. So we found out back in the past that Anzu's mom and Makiko were actually friends. Then they got to a point where she weirdly started doing everything her mom was doing. But the crazy thing about that is, Makiko was basically trying to be her and stole her identity. I'm like, the fuck? Turns out the bracelets she found in there and some shoes, they all belong to her mom. Now you're thinking to yourself, where's Anzu's mom at right now? Well, apparently she had a complete breakdown, and she's in the hospital. The thing is, she's got like selective amnesia. So she can remember certain items, but the thing is, she can't even remember that she has 2 daughters. I'm like, wow. So basically, Anzu's trying to get some revenge and prove that Makiko did burn their house down 13 years ago. So Makiko still doesn't let her go upstairs to clean. I'm pretty sure she got some evidence up there about something somewhere. So Anzu turns it up a notch. She ends up cooking for her, right? And she loved her cooking, and it ends up becoming part of her daily duties on top of that too. So one time when Makiko's going to work, Anzu's like, fuck this shit, I'm going upstairs. She goes upstairs to look through one of the rooms, right? One room's got a bunch of books and video games, like from Temple University and stuff like that. So we're like, oh snap. Then the dude pops up out of nowhere, like, who the heck is this? Now at the time, Anzu didn't know who he was. But the thing is, he didn't snitch on her, so everything's all gravy. So she realized this dude's just sitting in his room all the time, but he never comes out or whatever, right? So Anzu's got this plan that she's gonna find a way to soften him up so that way, you know what I'm saying, get some information to her or whatever like that. So what does she do every day when Makiko leaves? She basically cooks this dude food up and whatever like that so he can eat. And then when she's finally able to look at him in his face, after she talks to him about stars and stuff like that, and then he starts naming certain stars and something starts clicking back in her head, she realized the kid that's in there is actually Kenji. Now why is this a revelation to her? Because it turns out back in the day, they used to be childhood friends. So later when we find out she got this homegirl by the name of Claire, right? Now Claire is basically helping Anzu get all this information that she can to Makiko. She finds out about this certain popularized sweater or whatever like that. Pretty sure she's thinking to herself like, yeah, this is your mom's sweater. And Kenji had told her on one of her visits upstairs, the room down in the hallway, that's the closet. So I'm pretty sure she's got a bunch of crazy ass evidence in that damn closet. So it was another situation where she was talking to Kenji at one point in time, right? But she was about to leave, and then Kenji pulls her back, is like, never mind, don't go. But then he says, never mind. I'm gonna tell you why that's gonna matter in a minute. So we get to a point that the next day, Anzu comes into work or whatever like that. Makiko's getting ready to leave out, whatever, but she's about to fix her some like coffee or tea or something like that, right? And she wants Anzu to sit down, right? But while she's fixing the tea, Makiko looks at her apron and finds out there's a button missing on it, right? So then all of a sudden she pulls this button out of her pocket. I'm like, oh shit. So she's like, you know where I found this button at? Yeah, upstairs. So basically she ends up giving her a last check and telling her services are no longer required. I'm like, oh shit, how's she gonna find out information now? So when we flash back, remember when I said that Kenji was pulling on her or whatever like that? Turns out he was accidentally pulling on her, but ended up pulling a button off her daggone apron. Ended up falling over near the side of the door. So obviously Makiko found the damn button. So now we're thinking to ourselves, is Kenji gonna help somehow? How's Anzu gonna get back at the house now to try to get evidence on Makiko about the whole fire? I'm gonna watch the rest of the episodes and find out. Burn the House Down on Netflix. Check it out.